King Hal, King Hal, we have scouted out the village, and I'm confident there's no real threat there. The princess has the same escort she rode with from the bridges at Yalmyris, and it's barely 10 men. I've also sent scouts to the road and both bridges to keep me updated, but the coast is clear, and if there is a trap, it is incredibly well hidden.
All right, we will proceed with furtive caution, but I'd like you to continue to run patrols to both bridges and around the village. Let's move to the village river and get a closer look, shall we?
Oh yeah. Hey, there she is. Oh yeah.
It's clear. The west side is clear too. The east and west corridors are clear, my lord.
Oh yeah. She's hot. I can see even from here. Let's go. Look at her. She's right there. I want to get married.
Well, she is armed for battle and looks agitated, but I don't see anything here that makes me alarmed, Hal.
I can imagine anyone having to marry Henry would indeed be agitated, but let's wait for the Bearheart and Berwyn to return with the scouts before we make our approach.
King Hal, we finished 2 more sweeps, and it feels safe for you to proceed. There are 200 villagers and some caravans on the outskirts of town, but their headsmen said the people were scared and had cleared out at the sight of our riders.
I wonder.
Your call, my lord.
Your cavalry could stay here for now, but let's assign the Bearheart and 3 of our best scouts to canvass the highways and watch both bridges. You guys know the routine. Double-ended patrols with circular coded passwords at each exchange. Let me know if there's any change.
Those are Varangians, aren't they?
Yeah, you certainly can't miss those hulking beasts. I'll have Isagund and the Kingsguard cover them with bows if they make any rash moves.
Lord Berwyn, secondary sweeps are complete. The village and the surrounding area is safe.
On my orders, captains, and keep your swords out, but down.
Yeah!
Hep, hep. Easy, boy.
Yeah. Ooh yeah. Marrying. Sex. Tasty.
Good evening, Princess. It's Princess Vera, am I
Order your men into position, my lord.
What?
It's a trap, you moron. Don't tell me this is all the men you have.
We've scouted the valley, both roads and as far as the bridges at Jalmyr.
Didn't your men get a good look at those caravans? They are armed to the fucking shit. They are already closing in.
Prepare for an attack, men. Gauntlet positions.
Yeah!
Marco, get your first division towards me in a square, and Ramirez, get a high perch with those sharpshooters.
Square formation! And fire at will! Forward! Stand apart! Advance! Troops! Infants form a wall! Soldiers! Troops move! Form a line! Forward! So make a square and move! Troop after me! Footmen! Kill them all!
princess. King's Guard, engage.
I'm no lady of the court, my lord.
Troops, after me! Troop, fire at will! Some life!
King Hal, do you see the chick? Did she survive? And what about my 2 cities?
Well fought! Yes!
Yeah!
By God, we survived. Lord Berwyn, get us some horses and find us a way out of here.
The day is ours!
Prince Henry, ready the block. I want you to personally execute Lord Berwyn and Lord Bearheart for failure to scout and almost get their king killed. Welcome back again, friends, to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related. Let's go ahead and remake our army here. We did a little bit of work behind the scenes. Of course, you heard the clang of war. We are now at war with the Khazate. So things are happening in this campaign We survived an ambush attack here by the Nords. That was a lot of fun setting that up. Of course, I just backed into a fight against some bandits. That was one shot too, by the way. That was fun, exhilarating for me, and hopefully we can do a little editing and make that badass for you fellas. Of course, we're using AI in this campaign, and all 3 kingdoms we're at war with. So we're going to reform our armies here, come up with some diplomacy. Actually, there's not going to be any diplomacy at this stage of the campaign. We will talk about campaign strategy. We will talk about managing our player clans, and we're going to try to survive what is likely to be an onslaught here, right? Who do you think the real monster power is in the game, right? There's Khazate forces forming over here. I'll give you a hint. It's not our kingdom. And Antho the Black, beautiful, right? We've got our player clans forming armies. This will be one of the focuses of the end of this campaign. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, right? You're just going to have to stay tuned. And one thing we want to do is, where's this guy here? Here we go, Black Curtain. You want to support your clans as they make big armies. If he runs out of influence, Antho the Black can't maintain that army. Now here's another tip. See this guy here, it says following Kanizat. Well, unfortunately, it's basically like Hansel and Gretel. We can just follow the breadcrumbs. It's scouting, right? And information is critical to be a good commander. I can just tell you, northwest of us, there is a Khazate force, which is ominous, right? That's way far to the west. Now, what the fuck is this? Released. They're not fighting each other. What? Oh, you know what that is? That is Quayaz. So Quayaz was besieged 4 or 5 days ago before we got trapped by the Nords. Of course, you can see King Hal was prepared for it. Don't worry, Bearheart, Berwyn, you guys won't be executed. And you see our little corner of the map there. This campaign is hardly over, and it's about to get gnarlier, right? If it wasn't gnarly enough, it's about to get even more gnarly. Now we're making armies. I did drop off some troops here at Ortysia before we went over there with our smaller force. So I think I will save you some time here. We'll add these troops and do some editing. Not the Varangians, though. We're not going to add them, and we will be right back. All right, well, there weren't great troops at Ortysia. Spread them across here a little bit, and I'm going to have to hit another castle or two because I'm not even maxed out for our army size. We've got a few more castles nearby that have a garrison, so let's head that way. We will investigate this Khazate army that is forming over here.
Hey, Leonidas. Thank you, brother. I'm back.
Oh, no problem, William. I got you covered, brother. 2,500 years ago, I was narrating this. I just wanted to make sure your YouTube channel was ripping. You always want to have Leonidas say, "Go fuck him up, brother." Leonidas, out.
Well, that's a real treat. I appreciate that. What a legend comes by our channel. He's evidently a long-term subscriber, and I appreciate all the support from Leonidas or the rest of you mortals. Thanks again for following. We continue with this campaign, and at this stage of a campaign, I start to be reminded of things like realpolitik and Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor, or Frederick the Great, Napoleon, because there's all kinds of stuff going on here, right? This is one of the hardest stages for a strategist. Of course, a lot of people roll up a campaign in Bannerlord on easy difficulty. This is hell mode, right? So we're going to do everything we can to survive here. We're going to try to keep a major army in the field. Right now, it's commanded by Antho the Black, and we'll recruit a few more armies here. How come there's shit? Did I disband Antho's army by mistake? I thought I just disbanded the smaller army. No? Man, that is really weird. His army is right there. Normally, this must be a bug. Normally, you do not see the guy and his forces. So I want to gather up a little bit of an army. I've been running with an army of 1,500 to 2,000, but we're at war with 3 different kingdoms. We're really up against it now, and we figure to be under assault. In fact, we continue to follow this Khazate force to the west. They're either sieging, well, I was going to say sieging Charis or Usank Castle. So we will head there, consolidate our troops a little bit here. And, you know, this is for sure a moment in a campaign where strategists, where the realpolitik, if you've never heard of that term, it was basically coined, or at least named after Otto von Bismarck. We got to show you this too, of course. Henry did get married, right? We'll just say this happened a day after the ambush there at the village. Of course, that poor gal, hopefully she's hardy because he's going to be doing some serious humping of her leg. And I like that we're able to edit these characters. Now, this is the first godlike character we're adding to the campaign. We probably won't add more than one or two more. We're up against many godlike characters, and I think it's okay for us to have one or two. So Henry has himself a basically goddess of war for a wife. She looks mean. You guys are free, of course, to check out the player capsules. I'm not going to pause and hold it on it, but I've spent time and put encyclopedia references with details and historical lore and stuff like that for the campaigns. We're building up a little bit of a universe here, a metaverse here on our channel in Tactical Enlightenment. So it's been a little while also since we snooped, or at least poked around some of our companions, did some upgrades. Here's Vara herself, right? She is a savage. You can see some of her stats are edited. But I'm also okay with this because the rest of our companions, the rest of our characters, not only are they organic, but because of the Death for All, we've been going through companions left and right, and it's been very hard to level them to a high level. So Zeus hits level 25. Garrison Keeler's been with us for a while, level 26. Show you a few more of them here. Of course, Marco has died twice. Marco's got 9 lives, evidently. And give you guys just a chance to glance at some of the characters that are still involved in this campaign. Ramirez, of course, has got a really interesting character line as well. Let's see what we got going on here with the Khazate. I'm considering concentrating our forces to the west. It just makes sense, almost like the Maginot Line that the French people built. You know, when you're under assault here by 3 different kingdoms, and by the way, I'm not going to show you Khazate. We're not going to show you the power bar. We're going to leave that element of fog of war cloaked. You guys are going to continue to wonder. Although you don't have to be a genius to look out at the map, and you could see we have about 8, 9, 10 cities, 3, 4. Well, I guess we got more than 3, 4, 5 castles. I would say we have a quarter of the map, and the rest of the world is against us, right? So you can probably extrapolate what kind of territory Khazate has. But anytime you're assaulted like this, right, you definitely want to consolidate. The Aserai are retaking territory to the south. Unfortunately, a small Khazate force here to destroy. They're getting some peace. And you're going to hear those drums a lot, right, because we are at war with 3 kingdoms. The StrengthenAI mod is on. These enemies have mature kingdoms. They have lots of fiefs. And you're about to see Bannerlord turbocharged, probably like you've never seen it before, outside of like some kind of gimmicky videos out there. Look at these characters we're up against. This is kind of silly. I made some over-the-top powerful enemy foes because, quite frankly, the situation dictates it, right? Our army is powerful when you combine that with tactics, a mature leader like King Hal, and we need monster foes. Now, this is interesting. Look at the power bar. Even though we outnumber them 4-1, 3-1, and that's why 92 Khans guards, 123 tier 5 heavy horse archers, and a heap of other tier 5 units. These armies we're facing are to the moon stacked, almost all tier 5. I mean, it's kind of amazing. Tier 5, tier 6. I'm a little worried that we'll suffer fatalities. I mean, we're suffering huge casualties for a lopsided auto-resolve here, and that is, of course, because our enemy forces are stacked. Elite troops to the gills, and they have artificially edited companions. On top of all that, right, as if it wasn't crazy enough, we've got the reinforcement system still kicking. We'll take all of these prisoners. So we're going to get add-ons in some battles, potentially multiple of our enemies attacking us. The Khazate, the Aserai, and maybe even the Norse/Sturgians all attacking us in single battles. We'll hope to have our own reinforcements. We have built up a good-sized force at this stage, right? We've got about 15 or 20 armies, little armies. And that's a nice enough piece there to actually look for someone to put that on real quick. And I'll keep rambling while we look for this. But it's going to be gnarly. And of course, the enemy heroes have 500% normal hit points, etc., etc., etc. But we have made this campaign extremely difficult. And of course, on a role-playing level, we are role-playing that the enemy has set up a coalition here, a little bit like what happened to Frederick the Great, or eventually Germany, or Napoleon, right? Sometimes when you rise in power, other people see you as such a big threat that enemies lay down their arms against each other to fight you. Now, I need reinforcements, but we got to go investigate Ortysia here from this stage on, we're not going to be able to catch our breath. In fact, I'm not going to take another breath the rest of this episode. I'm just going to continue to narrate and not breathe. And we'll make it up here to Karbatsith. Okay, I'm going to have to breathe. But it's going to be a breathless campaign from this stage. If you've watched to this stage, you're rewarded, right? You're going to be rewarded with some of the largest battles you'll see on YouTube in Bannerlord, fought in 4K, beautiful graphics, with all kinds of interesting elements like companions. Some of these are people following the channel or Patreon supporters, and if you want in on that, of course, I'll put the Patreon link in the video description. Some of these characters and companions will follow over to a future epic Norse campaign. And what did I say 10 minutes ago about the drums, right? We already have 3 cities under siege, and unfortunately, they're at opposite ends of the kingdom here. So I feel a little bit like Charlemagne, right? Charlemagne, right? Charles the Great. I think that's what that stood for. He was basically the consolidator of French power, right? You can see, you guys watching, most of you know that I have a decent base of historical knowledge, and it's beneficial to campaign strategy, to realpolitik, right? The term that Bismarck basically coined that illustrates, in war, all is fair. Everything is fair. Most states want their people to be ethical and operate under no set ethics themselves. It's necessary for survival. I think we're going to head south to Ortysia here. I need Entho the Black to get stronger. I need him to upgrade his troops. I need him to get money, influence. So, like a wolf cub, we're going to hope Entho the Black can handle our light work. And between the two of our forces, we can juggle whatever's attacking here. I think it's the Norse here at Ortysia. And we're just being assailed all over the place. So the drums are literally pounding every 30 seconds. And of course, there's a storyline to all this, right? I promise you more twists and turns in case you haven't had enough yet. We're going to keep this campaign thrilling. If you've watched, 70 hours of a Bannerlord campaign, I imagine you haven't done so unless it was highly exhilarating, highly intriguing, and unique. And this is beautiful. Entho the Black closing in here. That army of Aserai forces was small. So far, the enemy's sending small armies, but I don't think that's going to last, right? And I thought I saw that. That's our city. I don't know why it's not more drums, but Sinala is ours. Fortunately, Entho the Black, though, looks like he's going to handle business there. And holy shit, well, I just said we're going to face bigger armies here. I don't think we can call anybody here. I think this is that bug still. I don't think those forces are available. I think those are all forces that are part of his army. I don't know what's going on here. I hope I don't crash the game. That would be really disappointing. We'll try to save every 60 minutes or so that the progress isn't lost. I am playing at work right now, so if you hear fire tones or something like that, you might even notice me pausing to try to keep up the content. I do play quite a bit at work. I'm a full-time firefighter, and we've got a 5-alarm fire here. We've got fucking Sturgians and Norse in huge numbers outside Ortysia, and we're going to have to fight it. Either I give up Ortysia here and fight those armies in detail, or we just slam ourselves into them and hope, the issues of the day are not going to be resolved through diplomacy and marrying their wives. They're going to be solved by blood and iron, right? To use the famous, I think it was Iron and Blood, actually, the famous quote by Otto von Bismarck in 1862. If you don't know who Otto von Bismarck is, he's a good person to research because he's an incredibly brilliant, shrewd statesman, and he's largely responsible for the unification of Germany. The Iron Chancellor. All right, I've been thinking about weapon load, and I think we're going to switch to javelins, which I probably won't use much, but I'm also going to grab a sword here. I want a fast one-handed sword. I'll be honest, I'm getting so comfortable using his legendary glaive, we may not even use these weapons, but if I end up on the ground and my horse goes out from underneath me again, we will at least have a weapon. And of course the javelins I can chuck into packed troops here. We've upgraded a couple banners. We've gotten a steel banner or two, and that's really going to help, of course, because the Sturgians are going to have a huge force of infantry. We're massively outnumbered, tons of infantry, and this is why I don't mind us having a princess who's edited all the enemy lords, or a lot of the enemy lords have these ridiculous stats. 357 medicine skill, right? So that means that guy's, all of his troops have twice the normal hit points. So it's going to be intense. This guy was added recently as well, man. And I appreciate all you guys sending in suggestions. This guy is just a giant mountain of a man. 669 two-handed skill. Don't get hit by his axe, right? Your body will disintegrate. And we will look for these guys on the battlefield. Although, honestly, in the din of a gigantic sprawl like this, it is hard at times to focus on the enemy lords. Even if I wanted to, it doesn't actually make sense. So we're on highest level. All right, let's do this shit. Let's fucking sit up straight. Make sure our posture's good. Mouse is comfortable and shit like this. These make me nervous. My hands are literally already sweating. And this is the second time I think we've defended Ortysia recently, and we get this nice uphill approach. This is a pretty big advantage. And this is how it should be, right? The enemy's sieging, they're static. You should basically have the approach angle. That's something Tail World should fix. And strategically, let's see here. We have a lot of cavalry. How much? 300? I got to try to figure out some advantage that we have. Ordinarily, I'd say horse archers, and we do have a fair bit of horse archers. We're still toting around a lot of the cons guards, which I think is a great element of this campaign. That's why it's a hybrid campaign, right? We have brought some 350 horse archers and cons guards to the Vlandian territories with King Hal. And even though, their numbers are dwindled considerably, we still have a lot. We have some in garrisons, and of course we continue to recruit prisoners. So we've been able to keep a nice stock. And to add horse archers to a Vlandian force that also has Fiend champs. And of course we have some Varangians. We probably have a 10th of the Varangians our enemy has here, because our allies will recruit them, and I cannot stop them. They will recruit prisoners, etc. Now, Berwyn, we're not going to execute you, but you are going to continue to play a defensive role. Not everybody can be the hero. Right? I'm the hero, by the way. Of course, you guys all may be the hero individually when we use the RTS mod to take over. I've got Henry in this division somewhere. It's been a little while since I took a little bit before battle to show you some stuff. He's camouflaged, but Henry is in here. He's got, I think that's him. He's got a slightly different helmet. He basically looks like a sharpshooter. And Henry, I wanted to get you on a horse, but the AI is in charge, of course, because you're a player clan, you're part of the kingdom, and I think the AI is like, you should be a crossbow. So, Henry, if you wanted to be on horse, maybe a future campaign, right? Maybe a campaign against the Norse. We are going to do both long term, right? An epic campaign against or with the Norse, probably both with the DLC. I'm fucking excited. But in the short term, let's try to win this battle here. Now we can retreat if we have to. That's one caveat. And what do we do here? What advantage do we have? Well, I have an advantage of cavalry, right? So I start thinking back to famous battles, the Battle of Leuthen, right, where Frederick the Great smashed the shit out of his foe by using an oblique order. We could do a little bit of a variant of that, right? We could pull the enemy into our left side here and then confuse the shit out of them by kiting, but also massive cavalry charges through their ranks as they come up. On the right here, we have Berwyn holding a center to protect those two infantry divisions. We're obviously going to kite. We'll be using horse archers considerably. And what I'm going to try to do with our cavalry is break up the enemy lines here. Make sure you guys can see allied troops. They are blue, so it should be sort of easy, but black and blue, they can look pretty similar too. And there's some lords. We've got this nice big cons division. Now we're also going to attack their cavalry over here, right? I'm going to try to badly damage or destroy their enemy cav. That way we have ground superiority. If we can get way more cavalry on the field than them, then we'll be able to really malign their troops as they come towards us. Cavalry are not great, and of course this is not 1.3. We are playing 1.2, so in a way we're sort of practicing for 1.3, right? And some of these battles feel like we're practicing for the DLC, of course, because we're fighting incredibly large armies of foot troops, right? They do have cavalry, but they have this giant phalanx of tier 6 infantry, all of those Varangians. The whole blob is Varangians, so let's bring our 8th Corps in behind here. We can start kiting with some units. And the 3rd and the 6th are over there. They're going to countercharge. Get in there, boys. We're going to form this first into a square. Keep on kiting. Come on, boys. Get back. And strap yourself in, right? You don't see battles like this very often on YouTube. We're in for a doozy here. Look at this fucking line of Armageddon. No, I want you to attack those cavalry. Let's pull these horses over the ridge. Come on, come on. Fuck, I feel out of sorts here. Back up. Go. Let's get this horse archer division back here to help. And we've got to deal with these Varangians. The throwing axes are just shelling our crossbow. Fuck. Let's form this first into a square. That fourth, I want to keep kind of close so they're doing maximum damage, but I can't get them just scorched by fucking throwing axes. Kill them, boys. All right, the horse archers are here. That's a good looking death spam. That's great looking death spam. Look at those throwing axes. It's insane. All right, let's get this 7th over here. Pull them over. The 2nd and 3rd are on that far side holding their own. So far, so good. These horse archers are going to be charging with us later, too. I can envision huge cavalry charges. This is the right battlefield for it, too. Nice big open battlefield without a lot of trees. Their archers are down the hill, but they're a long ways away, right? They're shooting. They're not really doing major damage yet, and eventually we will block those guys off. And there's a big, long line here just to give them a target. The square is totally surrounded, but that's what we want, right? We now have horse archers behind him. A huge division of our 8th Corps cavalry is coming our way here, and it should just devastate the enemy. It's not going to, but we're going to charge from the other direction and hammer and anvil him from behind. Getting right over that ridge. A bunch of banner knights and shit. Throttle them, boys. Our archers are raking. Here comes our cavalry. Pull this infantry back so their units are moving. Even better. And fucking iron and blood. Right, let's get violent. I may narrate a little less in this episode just because of the intensity of it. These battles, fucking, my hands are literally shaking. Reinforcements are popping up right here, which is obviously, it's a little bit of a hack, but we'll take advantage of it. That means they're just closing in behind the enemy. Charge. Now their archers are shooting, but they're downhill, they're shooting uphill. We've got a line of shields cutting them off, and we massacred these Varangians. Those are tough fucking forces. Now let's dispatch these Fiend champs, or at least do the best we can here, right? In 1.3, this might be really effective. This is probably going to be modestly effective. Let's roll downhill here with 400 heavy horse. You don't see this kind of charge very often, Bannerlord. Let's go, boys. Reinforcements coming in, but look how far away it is, right? It's 200 yards, kind of to our southeast there. There's a lord right there. Where you going, buddy? Oh shit, he's got an escort. Oh fuck. Yeah, this is what I mean. These forces coming through here, they're going to be kind of streaming up, right? As they stream up and try to provide reinforcements for our enemy, we're going to try to do damage as they come up. We're going to do repeated cavalry charges here. They're running uphill. Fucking asshole spears. And here's what I'm talking about. They're bringing up archers to shoot at us. Let's drive them right the fuck through these archers. That's right in Sun Tzu's strategy. Sun Tzu tactic. Drive your cavalry right the fuck through archers. Ah, you fucker. Damn, that did a lot of damage. There's fucking forces everywhere. This is fucking wild. Now, I don't want to get too far from our reinforcement spots here. You're going to see me consistently reset. This is something just with thousands of Bannerlord battles, or hundreds at least, I've learned, right? You want to make sure that your forces don't get strung out. Make the enemy string themselves out. If they're willing to attack you, and here they're attacking because we outnumber them from a ranged perspective. They have infantry. The AI generally charges when it has infantry. Advantage us. Okay, we got the 3rd and the 8th. The 3rd and the 8th on the far side. The 7th can participate. It's mostly the 8th right now. Eventually reinforcements will come in on the 3rd division, and that'll be another one of our charging divisions. You're going to see me orchestrate this over and over again. In the beta, this is devastating, right? This will be a highly effective tactic. Here, like I said, I think it's modestly effective. the Battle of Leuthen, fucking Frederick the Great was up against something like 66,000 foes, Austrians, and just incredible tactics in oblique order, which we've covered on the channel before, devastatingly effective. That cavalry charge is good. I see cavalrymen scoring kills. Oh shit, oh shit, fuck, shit. Just fucking gravity is undefeated. I've got to get a horse here eventually, but I'm deep in enemy territory. Let's get up the hill here first. God, I just lost half my fucking health falling. Give me this. Get off. Alright, the enemy looks like they're reforming. That's a good time for us to reform them. Get the going. God, this landscape has all kinds of shit you run into. When you're stressed, that shit annoys you even more. And companions, hold on to your ass, right? The Death for All mod is cranked. Look at this cavalry line we got. This is where Banner Knights are really effective. Man, we're going to be able to do major work with our Banner Knights this battle. And the enemy has cavalry too, but we have way more. It's the only area we have a real advantage this battle. They're going to have more of everything else. And of course, we're going to combine it with infantry and skirmisher charges. Now, they have a huge amount of cavalry over here. 180 cav. Fuck. I thought we had more cavalry. Maybe not. Oh, shit. They're all trying to fucking kill me. It's a good choice, right? I'm the one to kill. Alright, cavalry coming across. They're sort of taking their time. They're getting stuck in just a huge maelstrom of troops in the field. There's so many different troops slashing and clashing in the middle of the field there. We also want to do some melee, right, with their cavalry. Even though they do have some higher tiered cavalry, Banner Knights of their own, they also have a lot of tier 5. And I like our chances. Banner Knights against tier 5, right? Those guys are going to be able to slug it out and do okay. Our archers are way overextended. This 5th division I've held on fire. Fire away, boys. We got to have at least a reserve division or two. This 3rd division is just holding this wing over here. Give us a little defense. And I got to get our infantry fucking more. They've got to get more spread, so we're going to have to do some splitting here. These fuckers with their javelins. I can't take a javelin here. Where is that fucking guy? Yeah, I see you. Fucker. Alright, we got lots of horse archers. That's good. We're looking good right now. We've got a commanding position. This is a chess match where right now we've got 2 or 3 enemy pieces down. We just got to not make mistakes. Let's get another huge rambling cavalry attack. We could start doing skeins. I mean, we're going to do cav charges of 300 here. Horse archers, actually, I think horse archers most of the time we're going to stick on our far flank, right? That way they can shoot. They can't really shoot over the hill here, and of course they can't really shoot against their body. They shoot better from the right side of the battlefield, the left as we're looking at it right now. Got a skirmisher division. We got some archers in the center, archers up top. We're looking good here. Get over there, boys. Now, there's also a small horse archer division, right? They come reinforcements. Horse archers come in the 4th division, so we'll probably use them as well. We're getting way too extended. We're doing some real violent action down there. Horses are being launched into the stratosphere.
Infantry! Infantry, make a shield wall!
They're sort of pursuing us. That's okay. We're going to have some monster cav charges. And I'm not going to give a fuck about 30 different horse raiders and shit like that. Not when you have 150 Banner Knights ripping across the screen. And I don't know if they're all Banner Knights, but there's a lot of Banner Knights in there for sure. It's in good formation. I'm being patient here. You want the enemy to commit. You want them more sprawled out, right? I've got horse archers on the other side. It's getting snarled up here. Or just, it's like our plane is ready for the runway there, right? Now you just point and click that shit. 157 cavalry. Let's do a loop around. I'll pull in the horse archers here behind them so they're causing a pinch on the other side here. I'm going to drive right behind these guys just for dramatic effect. I also do this for protection. Let them get shot first. Charge, boys. Fuck yeah. Just a fucking steamroller. Of course, we're by far the fastest. And I should have fucking Hold up slower. It's all right, though. I like that sound, right? Spears galore. There's Khan's guards behind him. And that was a nice wave of death there. Now we're just going to swirl the shit out of this. And the enemy's broken up. If they were in squares or shield walls here, that wouldn't have done nearly that effect. But they're swarming up to attack our archers and infantry, and they have to. Otherwise, our archers will pound them. These are their fucking horse archers. I gotta be careful of fucking gravity. Fuck. God. I've lost 2/3 of my health in this battle to gravity. It's not enough that the enemy's got elite troops and high-handed lords, but then gravity comes to kill you. Look at these fuckers chucking javelins across the battlefield at me. Fuck you.
Camel, after me!
My horse feels like it's running 300 miles an hour. Of course, King Hal, I don't know if I mentioned it, just got the highest cav perk, right? So he's blazing. We've got ourselves a Vadar Hot Blood. And I just feel like I'm on a rocket ship. You got to be careful, though, too. You take a spear at this speed, you're dead. That's very bloody. Oh, fucking gravity. I got to be careful on these hills. We've got to get more forces to our right? We can't pull off an oblique order if our forces are facing theirs. The concept of an oblique order, and it's not quite what Frederick did at the Battle of Leuthen, is effectively a confusing movement of your troops. They're at 45-degree angles to the enemy formations, and it confused the fuck out of whoever was the commander for the Austrians. I think it was one of their pompous grand princes. I got no fucking health, but I've got 150 banner knights streaming across the field again, you bitches. I'm still gonna fight too. I don't give a fuck. We've got the RTS mod. They need my glaive in here killing a guy every other swing. We've got a shield, and that's the advantage of it, right? I can use this glaive, and a quarter second later I can protect myself. It's pretty fucking amazing. Alright, horse archers here. The cav continue to stream across the field. And look at the death span. Man, we are wrecking shop in this battle. I got you back, brother. I just looked down. 309 riding skill. Right, we're getting up there. King Hal, the beast. Watch him take an arrow right now and get killed. That's the nature of it. King Hal definitely die like the rest of them. Alright, we've got a commanding position. I'm just going to keep doing it, right? As long as it's working. Just like the bedroom. If shit's working, you keep doing it, right? Good things are happening. I got a little bit of jab cav in there. We have a few horse we have a few horse raiders of our own. Not very many, though. We probably have 20. Got a lot of horse archers here. There's Aserai horse archers in here. Of course, again, our nobles. Although, don't forget, we just took some Aserai territory, right? So we're a multicultural kingdom, right? The House of York. We're an equal opportunity employer. I see enemy lords still killing our troops, too. And I also see our companions getting killed. There's just no way they can survive this long. I just hope there's one of them I can take over when I go down. It's inevitable. This battle is hardly over. I mean, they still have tier 5 units. Look at this shit. Look at how spread out they are. It's a lot of infantry, so we're going to take spears. But, man, does that look good. And it's just a stampede of cavalry. I can just follow the dust. And the nice thing is a lot of them turn their back to me, right? So I can just cut down archers left and right. They're getting blasted. Meanwhile, they're getting shot and blitzed from behind. Beautiful. Everybody's trying to kill me. I'm just barely able to survive. Fuck, I see you coming, motherfuckers. It is fucking chaos. I'd tell you what I'm doing, but you should know by now. We're just going to keep doing this shit. We're gonna tear their limbs.
Infantry! Move!
We've got a bunch of sharpshooters on the ridge. We've got a bunch in the valley on the other side. We've got horse archers on the other side. It's a modified kill box. Kill box with cab charge, right? I hear arrows hitting all around me, fuckers. If I get dropped, I'm probably going to be on foot. I want to stay on horse, not only to command, but of course, I do way more damage with King Hal. That is some good-looking death spam. Yes.
Loose formation! Cavalry!
That looks like my stock portfolio the last 12 months. 500 infantry, fuck. Well, we're going to keep doing it. The infantry's still broken up, right? So a lot of these guys are getting hit on the flank. A lot of them are not defending. And it's such a huge amount of heavy horse that I think it doesn't matter. It just looks glorious, too. There's dust flying everywhere. We got 2 different waves just crashing through the enemy ranks. The death spam is fizzing green. We have a lot of sharpshooters and hardened crossbows still. Let's keep circling here, boys. Right through their ranks. Those are enemy cav. Fuck. They've got cav here too. We can sort of backdoor them. We've got horse archers behind them now positioned. Now they can shoot. In comes our heavy cav. We are trampling everything. God, imagine what this would look like with 1.3 with the new updates to the cavalry. Fuck, this would just be flushing green across the screen. And we'll be there, right? When that DLC comes out, you know we're going to have at least some level of gameplay where we run a ton of cavalry. Maybe it'll be Khazate. Maybe it'll be something else. We shall see. The Patreon supporters have a big say in that. We continue to run polls on the Patreon. If you want to see, you know, Realm of Thrones or something like that, your vote can be heard on Patreon. And, you know, fucking bring more Russians. Bring more fucking Sturgians here. I don't think it matters how many they bring. We have such a fucking kaleidoscope, washing machine of death here. The screen is just flushing green, and our enemies are just stampeding everything downhill. The enemy's getting down to mid-tier troops. They got a lot of brigands and Sturgian soldiers. They're still decent units, but I just think this onslaught is too much for them to handle. And I'll be surprised if this battle isn't over soon. I mean, the enemy's hardly getting any kills. Somehow I've been able to stay on my feet. I mean, look at this cavalry charge. It's glorious. Now, they're consolidating in the corner, but some of those guys are definitely routing. Right? When the enemy's routing, just like a boxer, it's uppercut time, right? We go in for haymakers here. We're going in for the kill. Now, we're way far away from our reinforcement spot, so if we do get annihilated here by a counterattack, we'll have to regroup, but I think it's worth it, right? Just continued cav charges right to the edge of the screen. And the enemy is fighting still. They're still putting up a fight. They're stabbing at guys and shit like that, right? So, fucking sword to the kidney.
Loose formation!
We got this shit. Look at this fucking steamroller. And it looks like a big, beautiful skein. It's this giant fucking arrow pointing towards the enemy dies. And that village sound, I don't know why it's a village sound. I guess those are people within the city. They're happy that we rescued them from the ravenous lords. And look at this cavalry stampede. It's fucking awesome. I know I've said that 12 times. You guys are, you're like, we're watching. We're watching, you dipshit. Quit saying looking at it. What do you think? I'm looking at the ceiling? And then, of course, some guys they tell me they listen to the channel while they drive a truck or when they go to bed and shit like that. Well, good night, dude. And, hey, turn your turn signal off, dude. Your turn signal's been on for 4 minutes. You're confusing everybody. We'll be we'll be an all-service provider here. And that is a fucking decisive victory right there. And this is essential that we have decisive victory now because that's hardly the first big battle we're going to face, right? There are going to be more, and they may get bigger, right? Because the biggest elephant in the room is still coming toe-to-toe And that is the Mongols. That is the Khazate, right? Genghis Khan, you know they're coming. The Sturgians in Norse are ran off the battlefield here. Now, this was also not the best Sturgian leaderships, with apologies to the lords that were there. There's even better Sturgians in Norse out in the field. I need another shower. I literally play one episode a day at this stage because I'm fucking emotionally and mentally exhausting. It's so difficult to command a battle this intense and continue to narrate. I think it's recording. I don't see the little circle. I had an episode 2 weeks ago. I filmed a brilliant episode and the motherfucking thing didn't record. It was an amazing battle. Yeah. Anyways, crying in my beer. I wanted to see how some of these Sturgian lords did in combat. Sven. They don't really use them that well. The AI, I mean, this guy has 600 something two-handed skill and he got 1 kill. Now, he also might have been shot to death by archers or horse archers too. It's hard to know. But what a fucking battle. What a critical win in the career of King Hal, right? What a way to cement yourself. This guy barely fits on the screen. How's that for a big fucking Norse dude? The guy's just badass.
I yield.
We'll take some free bandits, right? They're low level, but they're archers. We'll take some shit. We'll take, well, there goes my prisoner fetish again. I've started going to weekly prisoner anonymous meetings at the guys that take too many prisoners and then you're slowed down and they all desert. It's a thing, right? The struggle is real. We pick up too many prisoners, and of course when you get injuries, your capacity to hold them is decreased. But I need a shower here. We got some pretty good armor. Actually, that's a nice looking helmet. I don't know if it fits the armor, but sometimes you got to upgrade this shit, right? And that should protect his face a little better, right? He kind of looks like a lake rat. All right, we're going to wrap this episode up. If you've watched to this stage and you like big battles, you know you want to subscribe. There will be more, I promise you. They may even get bigger. They're probably going to get bigger. How will this campaign end, right? We shall see. Of course, at this stage, please hit that like button, leave any comments, criticism, all that kind of stuff at the bottom, friends. I appreciate you fellas. Again, head on over to the Patreon if you want to nudge our campaign or future playthroughs in a certain direction. That's also the best way to get a character in one of our future campaigns. You know you want to be on the battlefield next to King Hal and Stupid Henry. Please hit that like button on the way out, friends, and I will see you all next time.